A Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Barakathum to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathan Bahashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. We're the Isupk, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of this Bible, that so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians are the true Israelites, the true Jews of the Bible, God's chosen people, the people destined to rule the earth. Okay? We're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group at all. But I do want to say that all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are invited to the 54th annual Lord's Passover. This year being held in Raleigh, North Carolina on April 1st. You understand? In Raleigh, North Carolina. And all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, even if you're in what we call a fake Israelite group, or if you're an individual light, or even if you just know that you're Israel, you are invited and you can come and see what we do for yourself. That's the best evidence that we can offer you. You understand? April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina, the Lord's 54th annual Passover. Okay? Okay. Shalom. Okay, you still got it. Okay. Most High in Christ. Okay. Since 1969, we've been the home of the truth. We've been rocking this truth out to the world, to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on 3 continents. You understand? Trying to get our people to come back to the Lord, which is the job and the authority and the purpose of every prophet of God that ever existed, from Moses to Christ. That was their job, to bring our people back together. And that's what we do here in the Isupk every day. And everything that we do is pertaining to doing that. You understand? So we're in Durham, North Carolina, and this is the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class, the class where we teach the holy tongue, the original Hebrew language, you understand? The pure language that's promised to us in the Bible, that he would return the pure language to us, a pure language. There's no language on this earth purer than Hebrew. You understand? Let me know when you're ready, otherwise. Okay. So Most High in Christ. So, you know, one of the things that we try to stress is the importance of this Hebrew language to us coming back together, you know, for the most part, you know, for the fact that it is a unifying factor. Like people of a particular nation, you know, they usually speak the same language, but because we have been dispersed in the diaspora, you know, we speak various languages. We speak French, Creole, Spanish, Patois, English, Portuguese. You understand? All these languages we speak, but we're really the seed of one man. You understand? We're the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And all the things pertaining to us that the Most High put upon us for our disobedience has already occurred among us, man. And it's time to wake the hell up, man, and come back. You ready? Okay, cut on my con. I got something over there if you want. Okay, Most High in Christ. Okay, Most High in Christ. So the Lashawan Qadash, it's not written on a board, it literally means the holy tongue or the holy speaking or the holy language. That's what it means. You understand? Meaning it's separate. It's the oldest language on the planet Earth. And what they call the ancient Hebrew or the Paleo Hebrew, you understand, is the oldest alphabet on the planet Earth. You understand? Alphabet. You understand? And once you become familiar with the letters, you'll see that these other languages borrowed a lot of similar symbols to create their alphabet. You understand? Even with the same sounds, Abagag, ABC. You understand? Even in Arabic and other Semitic languages, it's similar. You understand? So we're just trying to get our people to understand. You understand how important our language is. You understand? And that, you understand, you know what the major problem with our people is, aside from not knowing who God is and not obeying God, is that we don't have the proper love for ourselves, our own people. That's the major problem. You understand? And I see this every day. And the Isupk County Commander General Yohana, we're gonna correct that. It's gonna be corrected. It's in the scriptures. It's just a matter of time. And with that, I turn the class over to priest and prophet, Officer Tabawan, Officer 1,000 Tabawan, Shalakia. Yabashim al Shabrak. There you go.
The water. The water, my brother. Get that brother in. Damn right. Most High in Christ. Well said. Excellently put. Everything you were saying was right on time. Shalakia. Oh, hold up, Shalakia. Nah, I sent it to him the other way. The other one. Shalakia. I might have to what's this? That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna resend it. Shalakia. Bear with me just a moment. I gotta resend this. So, young man, if you seeing this, the link that I sent you is not the correct one. So I'm emailing it to you again right now and sending you a new link. All right, and I'm also gonna put that link in the chat if anybody else wants to join. Also, switch this up. There was definitely a short in that cord, which was causing no problem. In fact, I don't want you. I don't want to do this mic either. Or just you taking the mic tonight? Oh, yeah, come. Select. Where am I? That's correct. Here we go. Test. 1, 2. Test. All right, cool. So I think both mics work now. Salaki for that. Giannis, here you go. Kanye.
Test it. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yep. We're good to go. That's what it is. Right. But what Overseer Giannis always saying was absolutely right. Everything he said was absolutely right. One thing I really stood out to me was him saying that this language, you understand, is related to our separation in the regard that people are united. Well, we read the definition of a nation before. What a nation is united by what? Common what? They have a few things in common. Language is one of them. What else?
Bloodline, of course.
Obviously, bloodline, right?
Land.
What else?
Culture.
Right. A nation of people is a large aggregate of people who are united by common, Ayana's also said bloodline or ancestry. They're also united by common language. Another one is they have a common history. This is how these people are connected, right? And as so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, we know that we have been cut off from our history, right? So those things that would make us a nation, we don't have. We don't have our own land. We don't have our own we don't have our own language. We don't have our own language. We have a history, but we don't even know our history. We're not aware of our history. Well, Salak, I see you, young man. Salak, let me let you in. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakatam.
Most High in Christ. You hear me good, Ak?
Khan and one Khan.
There we go. Okay. So some of those issues we were having with the audio before, I think we kind of worked those kinks out. So that should be Tawab going forward. All right. Salakia. So Khan, so we're gonna get a few scriptures on it real quick before we get into the Hebrew for today. All right, we're gonna do some review. We're gonna learn some new words too, right? So obviously Yana's always kind of busy with something, but that's no sweat. So we're gonna read this in the Bible. We're gonna go to a scripture in the Bible. Salakia. We go to the book of Psalms, chapter 83. Right, we read that in the Sabbath service every week. You know what I mean? But this goes perfect with what Officer Yanazar was saying. All right, so we can go to Psalms chapter 83. And we're going to start at verse 1. Young man, you got your Bible with you?
Khan and one Khan.
Could you go ahead and read Psalms 83 and start at verse 1 for me, Baba Kushah? Psalms, the 83rd chapter, and the first verse.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and starting at verse 1. Keep not thou silent, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
Keep not thou silence, right? What does that mean when it says, keep not thou silence and hold not thy peace? And who's talking here? Who's saying this?
This is David the psalmist.
God, that's exactly who it is. This is King David speaking. King David is telling the Most High, he's asking the Most High not to what? Not to be silent.
Not to be silent.
And not to what? Yes. Keep not thou silence,
And
right? And hold not thy peace. Meaning,
yes.
Go ahead, young man.
For lo, verse 2, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that
so
hate
he's asking the Most High, Salaki, 1 second. He's asking the Most High not to be silent, not to keep his peace. Basically, he's asking the Most High to be active. So I want you to do something, Lord. I don't want you just to sit back, right? And then he's going to give the explanation. As the young man began reading, it says, for lo, this is the reason. For lo, for this reason, for behold, thine enemies, meaning what? That the Most High has enemies. Thine enemies make a tumult. Didn't learn that in the Christian church, that God has enemies, but it says thine enemies make a tumult. What is a tumult?
Make a noise.
Right. Thine enemies are making a loud noise, a loud ruckus. Okay, read on.
And they that hate thee.
And they that what?
They that hate thee.
And they that hate the Most High. These people hate God. Go ahead.
Have lifted up their head and have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They've taken crafty counsel against God's people, right? Crafty counsel. They've taken, this kind of, they've been meeting together and trying to come up with a scheme, come up with a plan. They took crafty counsel. They took a cunning, a cunning method to go about this. They took crafty counsel. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? The Israelites. Read on.
They have said,
Come.
They have said, verse 4, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That's it. This was their major plan. This was what all the crafty counsel was about. This is what all the tumult was about. It was about what? Let us cut them off from being what, young man?
Being a nation.
From being a nation. Read on a little bit more.
That the name of Israel may
The
be
name of
no
Israel.
more.
Remember the word name, right? In Hebrew, name, Salakia. Who knows the Hebrew word for name? We say it in our greetings. That means, there we go, right? So this is name in Hebrew, right? In ancient, damn, terrible. Ancient is going to be what? Shah and Amah, Shum, right? Shum. In Assyrian, same thing. All right, make sure we're using the appropriate form. Shum. This is the word for name. But what does name mean? Right? Does name just mean, oh, okay, my name is Tom. My name is, George, or whatever these Americanized names are. Does it even just mean my name is Officer Tabawan? What does name mean? Go ahead, Yanazor.
Also, your reputation.
That's it right there. That means it means your reputation. Okay, so your name is almost like saying, you know what I mean? And I want to make sure that, somebody might say my good name isn't tarnished, or he made a name for himself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's reputation. So Shum means name or reputation. Right? And so when he says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, think about it in this way. Is the name Israel no more in remembrance? Is it?
Laha.
Explain.
Well, it's kind of I wouldn't say a trick question, but the explanation of that question. Okay, so there is a pretender who's lying and saying that they're Israel, living off of our reputation, but the actual Israelites' reputation has been ruined, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Exactly, right? So, but I get why you answered it that way, Yanazar, because the name Israel, have people heard of Israel? Yes. Do most people know how to even spell Israel in English? Yes, they know how to spell Israel. They can say Israel. They can point out Israel on a map. But the reputation, the true reputation, the true name of Israel is what? Is no more in remembrance. Because if you ask a black man who he is, he's not going to say he's an Israelite. He's not going to say that he's from Israel. He's not going to even associate himself with that. But if you ask some oppressor with curly sideburns from Williamsburg, Brooklyn, he is going to say that he is Israeli or he is Israel. That's not the true name. That's not the true reputation of Israel. The true reputation of Israel is no more in remembrance. Read on, young man, before we get into this Hebrew.
Verse number 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
You can drop that. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? They cut us off from being a nation. Count the water for reading, brother. They cut us off from being a nation. And that's why, as Officer Yanazar was saying, it's so important for us to get back to this. Okay? This is a part of our journey to get back to being a nation. Every problem that so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians face in this world is a product of us not knowing who we are. Every single issue is based on that. Because if we knew who we were, then we would know who to worship. We would know who our God is and who he's not. But we don't know. And because we don't know who we are, we've adopted the ideologies and the philosophies and the workings of all these other nations who are not us. We don't have connection with the Most High. You understand? And we try to be like them when really we're better than them. Okay, that's losing our identity. Okay, so for today, we're gonna do some reviews and learn a couple of new words as well. But of course, I like to start off by reminding everyone. Of course, this is Lashawan Qadash class. Lashawan Qadash. Okay. We write it out in ancient. La Sha Wa. No, nah. It's a la, a sha, a wa, and a na. But of course, remember we talked about syllables, right? So now, if I need to have the proper connectors on this word, how many connectors am I going to need for the word Lashawan? How many connectors do I need for that word, Lashawan?
3, sir.
Okay. Why do you say that, sis?
La sha one. La sha one.
Because you're absolutely
three
correct.
syllables.
That's it. Give her a hand. 3 syllables means 3 connectors. Okay. So la, that's what this letter is, and that's its own syllable. La. Sha, again, it's its own syllable. That's 2. 1, 2. La sha. But then we only have 1 syllable left, as the sister said. So of course it has to be what? It has to connect these last 2 to make it 3. La sha 1. All right. Now the second word. Remember Lashawan comes from the root word Lashun, right? Which means tongue, right? Now, then that wa turns it into like what we call that might call reminiscent of the ing form in English, and turns it into an action, a continuous action, right? Yanazar used the perfect word, speaking. The holy speaking is a good way to think of it, right? So Lashawan, right? And then, of course, we would write this from right to left. I'm just separating this way because we're kind of breaking it down. But then we have the Qua, Da, Sha. Now, how many connectors will we need for this word?
Two, Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Should be 2. Qadash.
Qua, Dash.
Dash.
Perfect. Perfect. Y'all are getting it. That's the gist of it, right? That's how this works. All right. So In fact, let's look at some words here. Bear with me. Just a second. What was that word? It wasn't iron. Was it silver? It was. Okay. I'm gonna learn some new words, okay? I'll come back to this. We're gonna come back to possessives. Maybe probably not today, but maybe next week. We'll get back to that. Pronominals. Again, we're kind of taking a little break from that. Unless anybody has, if you have any questions on it, of course you can ask me. That's not a problem. But for today's class, we're going to take a little break from dealing with sentence structure, get to some more little basic things. And of course, these words that we learn can be incorporated into possessives. We can use possessives with them.
Salaki, sir.
Concepts.
Um, what are some of the well, I'm not gonna say words or sentences or questions, but
Mhm.
just want to know some of the phrases that how I want to say. So I'm just trying to, see what are some words we need to watch out for at the Passover.
Okay.
Not,
Well, you say
you know,
no. I mean, you mean just mean like some words that like a person might use
yes,
and that you want to be familiar with.
familiar with, yes,
I completely understand, sis. That's not a problem at all. All right.
concert.
So let's do that. Let's talk about some common we'll say common Hebrew words. Specifically, these are words, you know what I'm saying, you will hear often in the school, the Isupk 1 West, right? So let's think of some, right? How about this one? I'll write some phrases on the board. I'll write some phrases. Just like you. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, actually, you know what? Well, these are some words you might hear at the end of the class. These are very important. Definitely gonna hear this. Slovakia. Concert. Come on, concert. Come on, concert. I got you. I completely understand, sir. Come on, come on. Give me some more. Anything I'm missing before? I know the brothers in the room know, right? So we trying to think of some common words because the sister, of course, is coming down to the 54th annual Passover, right? Brought to you by the ISUPK is going down. Give a hand clap for the Passover. You know what I'm saying? April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina, at the Raleigh Convention Center, right? And if it's your first time, there might be some Hebrew words that you'll hear brothers and sisters using that you may or may not be familiar with, and the sister wants to be prepared, and I completely understand that, and we're going to help the sister be prepared, and the brother as well. Anybody tuning in who may not be familiar with certain words. All right, but we're just going to start with these few for now, okay? We're going to start with these ones for now, and if we have more, we'll go ahead and add them as we go along. But these are some phrases you will without a doubt hear, and I know there's plenty more. But let's start off with one of the more common ones, right? The phrase in English, thank you. How do we say thank you in Hebrew?
Tawada, thank Slacky said.
Absolutely. Thawada. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, the word thawada comes from a Hebrew root word that means praise. It's the root word that it comes from. Okay. Like adulation, like, you know, when you like praise in terms of saying thank you. Like, when you thank the Most High, right? It's related to that word. All right. Thawada. Now, if we were to write this in ancient, we'll just do with some ancient for now. We won't do no Assyrian. If we were to write this in ancient, how would we spell this word in ancient? How will we spell this word in ancient Hebrew? How will we spell that? And how many connectors will we need?
3 connectors. Ata, Awa, Ada.
Okay, so you said so you spelling it out. So first we got a tha, right? Right. So in ancient, tha. Then you said a wa, right? Am I correct?
Khan.
Right. Tha, a wa. Then you said a da.
Yeah.
Is that it?
So like I said, I know it's something else, but I'm not sure.
I'll give you a hint. It's on the board. Just how to spell thawada in Hebrew. Think about it. Think about what we said about transliteration.
Salaki, sir, is it just one letter? I mean, it's just it's one missing.
So here's what I'll tell you. The letter that's missing, because what you got to understand is this. With pronunciation, letters in Hebrew are never silent. However, there are letters that, because of our English speaking, new world, just palette, our speech patterns, there's certain letters that wouldn't occur to us because we don't really use them in that way. This is kind of one of those instances. I'll help you out. You could also just go to Strong's, go to Blue Letter Bible and go to Strong's Hebrew word H8426. And what you will see is that the last letter in Thawada is, that's why I said it's on the board, aha. Right? That's how Thawada is spelled in ancient. Of course, you can see it right here in Assyrian on blue letter. Right? Right there. Da, wa, da.
Can and one can.
Now, the ha has a sound. So don't think that the ha doesn't have a sound, right? But that's more of an advanced topic in a way because, again, most of this is just for pronunciation's sake. So let me say that too. When we're dealing with transliteration, the whole purpose of this is to help us pronounce this. This and this are not the same. What do I mean by that? This is English. This is not an English word. We say this all the time. Thawada is not an English word. It's a Hebrew word. This combination of letters does not make sense in English, but neither does this combination of letters without the H at the end, or any combination of letters that is not an English word. The whole point is just so that we can pronounce Hebrew. That's the only reason we're using all of these English letters, which is, again, what we call transliteration, where we're transferring the pronunciation of a word in one language into another. No different than when we say Jackie Chan or Jet Li or Mao Zedong or what's the little dude from Korea? Oh yeah, Kim Jong-un or Kim Il, right? Kim Jong-il or whatever. None of that is English. We're just trying to get the sound. So in this particular case, Thawada, as we say it, sounds like you don't need this, because it's just Thawada. But the true understanding of it is that in Hebrew, you do pronounce it. It's like an extra breath. All right? This ha, and the brother said 3 syllables, right? So 3 connectors. The, wa, da. That's correct. It's not Thawada or Thawada. It's Thawada. It's extended. So there's three in a Hebrew. You have, and I'm gonna do this quick. I'm not gonna take too much time on this. You have 3 words. You have ma. This is a prefix, right? We talked about that. At the beginning of a word, this means what? This means of or from. Ma. It's sharp. Ma. Then you have ma. Ma. This word means what? I just said it. This word means what? Why y'all look so confused? This word means what?
God, I'm checking through my notes.
I don't understand why everybody's looking around all confused. The word means what? Oh, y'all don't get it.
From, sir.
Go ahead, sis. What were you saying, sis? The word means what?
Hold on, sir.
The word means what, man? I said it like 6 times.
Oh,
What? It
Yeah.
means what, sir?
Yes. The word ma means what? Literally. All right. So you have ma, of or from. You have ma, which means what? Then you have right. Salaki for my handwriting right here. I'm gonna erase that, fix it. Then you have ma'a. Ma'a, which means what? Now that doesn't actually literally mean what. Ma'a means, or what does, let me ask that question that way. What does ma'a mean? And since we're gonna get right back to these other words real soon, we're not gonna change topics. Ma'a means 100. Okay? All 3 of these words are pronounced differently. Ma is sharp. Ma. Ma. Think of it like in English, you have what are called stressed and unstressed syllables. This would be like unstressed. Ma. Ma would be stressed. The ha makes you extend it, and also there's an, like I said, there's a breath here. So it's like ma. Ma. Y'all hear that? Ma. Okay. One is ma. One is ma. With this sound at the end. Ma. And then this last one, this is not ma'a. Don't say ma'a. There we go. It flows. Ma'a. Ma'a. Ma. Ma. Ma'a. Ma. Ma. Ma'a. All right? 3 different words, very similar, but not the same. One is just ma. This is ma. And this is ma. Ah. Ma. Ah there. Just lock it. All right. So the same thing. Thawada has that ha at the end for a reason. Okay. Now again, you'll hear brothers saying it quickly. Thawada. You know what they're saying. We got to make a big deal of it. But technically speaking, when we start, as we want to get more and more in tune with the language and speaking it properly and getting all the inflections and syllables together and everything, it'll be less thawada and thawada. Thawada. That ha will be present at the end. Okay? So that's why that's spelled that way.
So that is
please, young man.
So what is the actual meaning of the ma? Because You just say it's one is of, from, and then what, and then so it's just a hundred, or so just
Like 100.
okay. So
Yeah,
just
ma'a is 100.
just 100. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe it might be hard to see on the screen. Yeah, Salaki. It looks like it's like a little hard to see. Let me write it a little bit stronger. It literally means 100,
Okay.
like the number. All right.
Channel one kind.
Count. Right. Now, so this one right here, you might have heard this before. We're gonna break it down, of course. So you somebody hands you something, or you ask somebody to hand you something. They hand it to you and you say Thawada. And then they say something back to you. I know you know, Yanazor. What is that thing that a brother in the ISUBK will say back to you after you say Thawada?
Salaka, sir. No sweat.
That's damn right. That is true. That is very true. That a brother will say no sweat. No sweat, brother. For sure. So the sister is very in tune. Most High in Christ, that's correct. But that, of course, is not the Hebrew response to the water, but that is true. Brothers do say no sweat. But what is the Hebrew response? What is the Lashawan Qadash response that you would get when you say Thawada to somebody? I know you know. I'm gonna give them a quick second. If they can't get it, I'm gonna give it right back to you. You might have heard this before.
Salaka, sir. It starts with an A.
It does.
I just can't pronounce it because I saw it. Yeah.
No sweat.
I just
you
can't
are
pronounce
correct.
it.
You are correct. I'll give you a little another hint before I give it to Yanazar. It technically does not translate to "you're welcome" at all.
I heard the word before, but I just can't remember it right now. Salaki.
No, not at all. It's totally fine. It's kind of a tough one to remember, so I completely understand. I'm just looking for a certain word in blue letter to break it down. All right, no, so what you got, Yanazar?
Ayundabar.
Ayundabar. right? Ayundabar. Now, what I said that it doesn't technically translate to "you're welcome." Let me write it out first, and then I'll break it down. And then, of course, I'm gonna have y'all tell me how to write it in Hebrew, if you have enough space. Ayundabar. Okay. I might need. So do you have any more markers? Yeah, this one's Kanye. This was a little faded. I want to make sure they get. Ah, my brother always prepared. Okay, the water, brother. Water. So Ayunda Bar translates not so much. We say it as "you're welcome." That's how we're meaning it. But more so, really, what it translates closer to in English would be like, "Don't mention it." You ever heard somebody say that? Like you do something, they thank you, say, "Don't mention it."
It's kind
That's
of
what Ayun Debar more literally means. Ayun means like not or nothing, right? Nothing. And Debar, who knows what Debar means? It's said at the beginning of a lot of Hebrew sentences in the Bible. At the beginning of how many how many sentences or verses in the Bible begin with the phrase, "and he said," and "she said"? So many of them. So that's why you'll see a lot of times to say Waya Debar, right? Well, the Wa means "and," the Ya means "he," Debar means to say or to speak. So Ayun Debar means don't speak it, or nothing spoken, right? Like don't mention it. That's what Ayun Debar literally means. So sis, if you say Thawada, sir, and you hear myself or any other brother say Ayun Debar, sis, it's basically saying, hey, you're welcome, or don't mention it. It's nothing. It's like saying no sweat. So Shalakia, we just adjust this.
Kasha.
Most High in Christ. Right. We're gonna just, like I said, we're just dealing with ancient. Ayun Debar. Oh, look at me. I'm so crazy. I put ancient in the beginning and an Assyrian at the end. I'm losing it. Getting old. Salakia. There we go. That's correct. Debar. All right. Now this one, you'll hear a lot of troopers saying this, right? A lot of brothers, not just troopers, captains. You'll hear everybody. You'll hear everybody saying this except Commanding General Yohana. How do we say yes, sir? The only person that you will not hear saying this is Commanding General Yohana. And then, you might hear him say it under the right circumstance, but I mean, there's like a 99.9% chance that you will not ever hear him say this phrase.
Cancer, Salakasha, cancer.
That's very close. You got half of it. You got the con part right. Con means yes, so that part is correct. What's the rest?
Anawan Khan.
There we go. Con out of one con. Right, which really translates more so as yes, sir, yes. It's like a military command, but it the functionally speaking, it's just our way of saying yes, sir. Right. And in ancient con da one, and then con again. Con out of one con. All right. Now you you walking past the brother, you spill a little bit. You in the all black party. You're in the all black party at the Durham Armory, aka the Sugar Shack, is going down Thursday night before the Passover. You are in the all black party. You are in there cutting a rug, having the time of your life, and you accidentally spill just a little tiny bit of your drink on a brother's shoes. You would say what?
Salaki, sir.
That's exactly what you would say. Give him a hand. You would say Salakia. Now, why do we say Salakia? Does anyone know what the root word? Why do we say Salakia? Exactly. This phrase that we use is literally an example of the usage of what we've called what? Pronominals. This really is possessive. This is how we say mine, right? Or my on something. My car, my whatever. My water would be what? My yumya. My name would be Shumya, right? But this yah here at the end of Salakya, right? It's used as a pronominal in part because this word salak is a verb. Okay, you might want to write that down. This word salak is a verb, which means forgive. It's an action word. It's not a noun. It's not, you can't quite have possession over an action. All right. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna show you real quick. So as you can see here, Strong's H5545. And you'll see it right here in Assyrian. See that? Salah. Salah. And you see part of speech, verb. Salah. Where you see it? Yeah, right there. Part of speech, verb.
Yeah. Khan.
Part of speech, verb. So let's see. H5545. One second, bear with me. No sweat, right? So that's why it says Salakya. So if we wanted to say forgive us, we would say what? Salak Nawa. We say it in the prayer. You can say forgive him, Salakwa, and so on. All right. But Salakya, right, specifically makes it forgive me. How will we spell this word? Well, actually, no. I'll just knock this one out. Right, it's getting a little jumbled here, Salakia. See, I gotta say it. This is the Sa, La. Oh yes, Salakia. It's not a Ka. It's a Cha. So let me make sure I use the proper one. Where's my eraser right here? I always forget. Yeah. The ladder. And then, yeah. Salakia. Right? Who knows? It's like, Salakia. Yanazar, you can give me a water if we have any, Bob Kushner? Now, who knows the Hebrew word for stand? This is going to be important.
Amijah.
Give that brother a hand. Excellent. Right? Imadium. Now, technically, it's lucky. Let's look it up. Let's look it up in blue letter. Just a moment. Right, Con. It's H5975. H5975. The root word is Imad. Imad. But of course, because generally we're talking to multiple people, the yum turns it to plural. It's like saying all rise or all stand, right? So it's like almost saying like everyone stand. Right? And that word is imadium. Which in ancient is going to be Salakia. I got to move this a little bit. So, like, yeah, it's going to be I. Mod, yep. Okay. You might also, for the brother, right? You'll hear what? at the end of class. They'll say Imadium. Everybody stands up. That's why it literally Imadium means everyone stand. Then you might hear Imadium Shabbat. What does Imadium Shabbat mean? We're not going to write that here because we're focusing more on the sister. But what does Imadium Shabbat mean?
Salaki, sir. Is it salute the sister?
Not quite. Well, they probably would say that before we salute the sisters. But that phrase does not mean salute the sisters. Because Imadium we know means stand, or everyone stands. So it's still, if Imadium means to stand, then Imadium Shabbat has to still be related to standing somehow. What do brothers do before they salute the sisters?
You face the sister?
We do that, true, but that's not what that one means. We're going to get to that.
Uh-huh.
But you might hear someone say, Imadium. Right? Means stand up. Then you'll hear Men of Israel. We give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat. Has anybody ever seen Imadium Shabbat?
Gone in one time.
I'll give you a hint. Go ahead, sis.
Salaki, sir. Is it the way that they stand is kind of like hands behind the back, kind of like
Yep. In Esau's military, they call it what?
Attention.
No.
Oh, at ease.
There we go.
Oh, at ease. Okay.
In Esau's military, they say at ease.
God.
Imadium Shabbat is our equivalent of at ease. Imadium means to stand. What does Shabbat mean? It should be your favorite day of the week. Yanazar?
Sabbath. Yeah, Shabbat.
Rest.
Exactly.
Yes.
Damn right. Shabbat is the day of rest. So Imadium means to stand. Like the brother said, that would be like attention. You standing, right? All right. But then when they say Imadium Shabbat, that means now you're standing at ease. Now you're at rest. Now you kind of relax. As opposed to having to be like this, you get to kind of chill. But trust me, Jan, I tell you that standing at Imadium Shabbat for a long time can be rough. All right. But it is still standing at ease, at rest, because you're not fully at attention. Okay. So that's what that's called, right? But we're not going to write that on the board. But yeah, that's Imadium Shabbat. So for a brother, when he hears Imadium, stand, men of Israel, you have one curse to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat, boom, Imadium, Barak. Oh, I might have just gave you one of the ones on the board, but I ain't going to tell you which one. Next, we have face east. We do this right before we do the prayers. For us to do the prayers, we have to turn and face the east.
Salaki, sir. Saya.
I know why you might say that, but no. I think you said SAR. That's a different word that's on this board, but not that one. Usually, brothers, of course, there's a wav at the beginning means end. So a brother will say, Imadium, which means everybody stand. Then he'll say, Wa blank, which means turn to face the east.
Salaki, sir. Barak or something like that.
Not quite. Remember, Barak is another word. I actually did not write it on the board, but that'll be one of the ones that we add. But the phrase that's used at the end of class to say face east, after they say wa, is Panya Kwadum. So I'll put it right here like end. You'll hear them say, I madyum. Right? Then they'll say, Wa Panya Kwadum. The Wa means end. Panya means to face something. It literally also means face. Right? So when you say Panya, it's like look or face something. Turn towards something. Face it. Turn your face to that thing. And then Kwadum means eastward. All right? Or east. So when you hear Imadyum, Wapanya Kwadum, that's what it means turn and face the east. It means end, face east. So, got Punya. Let me, I want to confuse you. Wa Punya Kwadum. And face east. Definitely. All right. Wapanya Kwadum. Now we have the word turn by itself, which might confuse some people because they will hear a brother say, after they say Wapanya Kwadum, they'll say, which means turn and face the east, right? Technically, that's not the case, right? They're not wrong. The phrase is telling you to turn your body towards the east. That is true. But the word turn is just not in the phrase. But they're saying the truth. You know what I'm saying? Again, we know how language works. And, you tell somebody something that may not always be the exact translation because you're just trying to get them to perform an action. So when they say turn and face the east, they're just trying to get you to understand that, yeah, you got to, turn your body towards the east. Don't just look at the east. Turn. Okay, that's why they say that. But the actual word for turn is what? Anybody else got it?
Shalaki, sir. Saw.
Give her a hand. Excellent, sis. Excellent work. That is the exact word. SAR. I'll just write it right here. All right, SAR. So now this is a very important one, right? What is a phrase that they say that when they say this, everybody, let me make sure I make that clear. Hold on, let me get on the camera. When they say this, everybody is to stand up. Okay?
Alabapanya.
Give him a hand. There it is. Damn right. Alawap Panya. Notice it's the same word that we see here in our phrase for facing the east. Right? Alawap Panya. I told you that word Panya means face, but it also means, because it means face, it also means presence of something. Like imagine the face of a thing. So this thing is present. You're looking at the face of it, right? So it may seem like it's saying general face, but then you wouldn't say, you probably say Punya a lot, which means face general, right? What this more so is saying is general present. Either way you slice it, it still comes to the same thing. So, you know what I mean? It's not like you can't look at it in that way too, but it's saying the Punya here is like the presence, right? We are in the presence of a general, right? Alawap Punya. And then at that point, we stand and make sure we do something the sister just said. After they say, I didn't write it on the board, I thought I wrote it on the board. After they say, Alawat Punya, everybody stands up and we do what?
Salute the general.
We salute the general by saying what?
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatam.
Exactly, right? Which is, you might, because guess what? Because sometimes you'll see it, because it can be called that way too. It can be called that way too.
Salaki sir Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bamashin Yahweh Shah.
That's for the sisters. You know what I mean? So that is the sister version of it. Now I need some clarification. I don't think when they say Alawat Panya, I don't know if the sisters. I don't know how that works. I definitely know the sisters are not supposed to say Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. That I do know. Sisters don't say that. But I don't know if they're supposed to say Yahweh Shamar Allah Thought Hashem Yahweh Shah while we're saying Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. I gotta ask Captain Ayathot for clarification on that. Okay. But sometimes you might see someone, you might see a captain or someone, if you're leaving the presence of a general, if they don't call Alawat Punya, they might still say this word in which you salute the general. If you don't get it, it's no sweat. But sis, you actually said the word earlier.
Salaki sir Barak.
Give her a hand. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, literally, okay, no sweat. Most High Christ. Literally, it means blessed. But it also means salute. Okay. Or if I got to write Alawat Punya, be right? And then Barak. Not to be confused with my brother, Officer Barak, up in D.C. with a qua at the end of his name. You see Barak with a qua at the end. It does not mean bless. It means lightning. Brother has one of those, you know what I'm saying, real strong. I mean, every brother has a strong Hebrew name, but, you know what I mean? I always just like that name, Barak, which means lightning. But yeah, this Barak means bless or salute. Right, so if you hear, you know, Captain Naithaka, the general might be leaving, right? He may not call Alawat Punya. We might be all outside of the vehicles, and the general's leaving, and Captain Naithak would be like, you know what I'm saying? He might say Alawat Punya, and then he'll say Barak, at which point we what? We put our hands, you know what I'm saying, put the fist and say, yeah, how about Shemshikta, right? And so on. All right. Well done. Well done. Is there any more words anyone can think of that, you know, the sister could use? Sister, are you familiar with how to say sister?
No, sir.
I'll write it over here.
And Salaki, so how do you say no again? How do you pronounce it?
I got you. So, no, right? Can anybody tell the sister how to say no?
La.
Why not?
That was it there.
I got you. Right? So no
Salaki,
is. Go ahead.
no, I know. I was just gonna say. I think it's spelled like Naah or something like that.
Not quite. The brother just said it, right?
Oh, okay.
Now you 12. It's la. La. Just like that. All right. Can you see it? Let me make the screen a little bigger. Salaki. So myself. So you see right up there, right up here, this is how you say no. It's la. La. And a. Remember, we want to try not to say la. We want it to roll. It's one word. We want to say la. Which, if you do it fast enough, it'll almost sound like one syllable, but it is not. It is two syllables. But those two syllables just kind of bump into each other. La. There we go. Perfect. La. All right. What was the other word we just talked about? You said la or la and sister.
Sister, sir.
Right. Because you hear my brother say a certain phrase. So we'll just do that. We'll go brothers and sisters. How do you say brothers in Hebrew?
Is it Akim?
Mm-hmm. Give him a hand. Right. Akim.
Shilaki said that's from watching across the line. They would say, Akim, be quiet.
Damn right. Most High in Christ. That's it, right? Because what is the root word? How do you say this? Is how you say brothers, plural, akim. How do you say brother?
Shalaka, sir. Ottawa, sir.
It's in the word. Can't go to a different word. This is right here. Remember, this is brothers. This is how you say brothers plural. So the singular word for brother has to be in here somewhere. For time's sake, I'll give it to you. It's ak. Right. Ak is the singular word for brother. So akyum is brothers. So we got that part. Now we got to say and sisters. We know and is what? Is Y at the beginning of a word, so we'll just put that there. Now, how do we say sister in Hebrew? Somebody look it up. Go to your blue letter. Help me out. I don't know nothing. No sweat. The word for sister is akwath. But there's a problem. We want to say brothers and sisters. That must have been one of the cones. It's probably rolling. Don't think so? Okay. Okay. Right. Akyum wa akwath, but we need it to be plural. So how do we make akwath, which is just sister, how do we make it plural?
Aquathium.
Did you say it again?
Aquathium.
Close. For sisters, right? This is of course, a suffix that goes at the end of a word, right? But this is specifically for brothers or for a group that has this is everybody, men and women. But when it's only women, as in sisters, no man is a sister, it's going to be, it's not yum, it's yun with a na at the end. Right, so it's akim wa akwathian. All right. That's why when we salute at the beginning of the class, even when we say Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Braka thumb to the brothers. But when we say to the sisters, we say Shalom Yahweh Shema Al a thun. Bashim Yahweh Salakia. That suffix changes. That last letter changes. Right? When we're talking to a group of brothers, we say a thumb, like you all. When we're talking to a group of people with men and women, we say a thumb, you all. When we're talking to a group of sisters, we say a thun, which is just means same thing, you all, but specifically for only sisters. So in this case, where this is how you pluralize a masculine word, this is how you pluralize a what they might call a feminine word. All right. Akim wa akwathian. Okay. Remember, the wa just simply means end here. It just means end.
So,
Akim
like
wa
sir,
akwathian. Yes, sis.
so when you're saying more than one sister, how do you spell Akwan?
Just like that.
Just like that?
When you want to say like sisters,
Yes.
just
Come,
like
sir.
this. Akwathian. If you want to say this is the word right here. Akwathian is the word for sisters. Akwathian. Akwathian. All right. Anything else? What else can we add to this?
Baba Kashar.
Ah, my man, that's a good one. That's a good one. And we can break that down too. Salakia, bear with me for a moment. This is a good one. We can go over this next week. But no sweat. All right. So the brother already said that. So now we're going to go backwards. We're going to go backwards. So he gave me the Hebrew word already. He said, Baba Kwasha. So we have the Hebrew word. What does Baba Kwasha mean?
Is that actually saying please?
Exactly. That's perfect, right?
Ah,
It's like saying please, or okay. So, but it's similar to like we said with Ayin the bar, right? It's similar to what we said with Ayin the bar in this regard. Technically, well, I mean, this is a little different because the phrase please still relates to what the actual translation is. I'm going to show you the breakdown of this word, if I could, real quick. Real fast, I'm going to show you the breakdown of this word. So go to H1245. No, sorry. My bad. Go to H1246. This was actually a question I had many years ago, and I was able to get it clarified. Yeah, Strong's, go to Blue Letter Bible, go to Strong's H1246. What do you see? You see Bakwasha, right? Well, that seems wrong, right? That doesn't seem correct. because we have Baba Kwasha. Why are we saying 2 bars when there's 1 bar here? Let's hear the devil say it. Let's hear how he says it.
Strong's H 1246. Bakasha.
That was surprisingly not too bad. I was surprised, devil. I thought you were going to say Bakwashe or some craziness, right? Right? But no, he said something that's still not correct, but it's better than I thought. But the word is Bakwasha. Bakwasha. But this is where remember, understanding that all of our Hebrew words, Hebrew is not English. There's nothing arbitrary. Nothing is by accident. Nothing is just random. There's a reason for everything. So if Bakwasha means, let's see what Bakwasha means actually. Bakwasha, according to Blue Letter, means, request. Request, entreaty, petition. To entreat someone means you asking something. Bakwasha essentially means to ask or to request. So what does this random ba at the beginning mean? What is this doing? Why do we need that? Give you a hint. Remember our prefixes and our suffixes.
The ba is in or on.
Exactly. So what does Baba Kusha literally mean?
So in request.
Salaki, sir, giving an order.
No, sis, the brother just said it, right? The brother just said it. It means in request. In request. Meaning I'm requesting something of you. In or on request. Right? Pick up that chair, Baba Shah. In request, can you pick up that chair? Okay, it's not in order. I'm not, saying, I'm saying please. If you could. That's another great way to say it. That's going back to what the sister said about how we say no sweat, right? We find English ways to say some of our Hebrew phrases. No sweat is similar to saying ayin debar, right? And saying if you could is similar to saying Baba Kusha, if you can, in request. All right, that's a good one. It's a good question, brother, and good understanding there. Is there any more?
Salaki, sir, hello.
Okay. How do we say hello? What is our Hebrew greeting?
Shalom.
If you would have said Shalom, guy, I would have.
I know better than that.
No. Absolutely correct, right? So our version of hello, we don't, I don't even know does anybody know what hello even means in English? I'm curious. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Let me see if I can find out what hello even means. Watch, I'm gonna find out it means something heinous. You look up an English word, it always means something real heinous. Some horrible phrase when you go back into the etymology.
Salaki, sir, I can't believe I asked that question.
Sis, it's no sweat at all. At all. But why are you saying you can't believe you asked that question?
Slack, sir, because I know better. I don't know. I think I'm getting sleepy.
Shalom. Right? That's how we say hello. Right? Well, of course, our greeting it means peace. Shalom means peace. Okay? Greeting between persons means where hello. Hola. Okay. I guess it's related to hola. I'm gonna find out. I'm going to find out what the heck hello even means. But no sweat. Any other questions? Any other phrases anyone's confused about, or Yanazar, any other phrases you can think of that we use a lot that would be beneficial to the system? We got a lot on the board. Tawada, Ayan the bar, Kana the one Khan, Salakia, Imadium, Wapanya Quadum, Sar, Alawapanya, Barak, La, Akim Wa Akwathian, Baba Kwasha, Shalom. Those are good. No sweat. All right. So we'll spend the last 5 minutes just real quick. I'm not even gonna put it on the board because I did it before. Salaki, real quick. Bear with me. Just a moment. Okay, I'm just gonna ask. I'm not gonna write it on the board. I want to know who can name me, because of course we know one of, you know what I'm saying, one of the 7 heads just passed, right? Okay. One of the 7 heads that, you know, I'll say were in charge of this school, of the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying, and really put this truth, you know what I'm saying, brought it to the light, right? Put in the groundwork and built the foundation of this thing that Commanding General Yohana had the fortitude to uphold when no one else would, and that still stands today. Who can name me the 7 heads of the ISUPK? Now we know who just passed, right? Ariyah just passed, right? And the Commander General Yohana gave an excellent story talking about Chief Priest Ariyah. You know what I'm saying? Giving him, you know what I'm saying, his you know what I mean? Not almost say giving him his flowers, but giving him his proper respect, right? So Ariyah is one of them. We got 6 more.
Masha.
Yeshaya.
That's correct. We got 3. That's Yeshaya. So we got so far. We got Ariyah, Masha,
Lahab.
Ariyah, Lahab. That's correct. And Masha we know is Ariyah's father. So we got Ariyah, Masha, Yeshaya, Lahab. That's 4. We got 3 more. Who are the last 3? Go ahead.
Shar.
Yeah, we got Shar. Saying we got Priest Shar. A lot of brothers call him Big Shar. Got 2 more.
There's Kazar.
Close. Kazak. Right. Kazakh.
Okay.
One more.
Salaki. So yes, Salaki, sir, is Tazak, is that the captain?
Mm-mm. We're missing one more. These, you know what I'm saying? These are generals.
Alapa. Is that one?
Nope.
General Mahaney.
Well, we're talking right now, we're talking about the 7 heads. So we're not talking quite about the current generals that we have. We're talking about the generals that started the school and you know, and brought this all to the light. So who we got so far? We got Arya, Masha, Yeshaya, Lahab, Shar, Kazak. One more.
Is it an Ara? I'm not sure. I have it written down, but I can't pronounce it.
What about General Yohana?
Says Commanding General Yohana is our current general, but Commanding General Yohana, I mean, he's not he I think Commanding General Yohana probably was about, more than likely he was probably about no older than 13 or 14 years old when the school started in 1969. Probably younger than that. I hope Commander Yohana's not watching right now. It's like you, sir. I would imagine he was probably about 11, 10 or 11. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little younger, maybe like 8 or 9 when the school started in 1969. So no, Commander General Yohana was not one of the 7 heads.
What about Yaquab?
There we go. That's the one. Give him a hand. That's it. Now, for the grand prize, who can tell me what each name means before we get up out of here? I'm going to call him out. Arya. What does Arya mean?
Shot a lion.
That's correct. Yaquab. What does Yaquab mean?
The usurper.
The usurper or the
The
supplanter.
supplanter.
Right? Lahab.
Blaze or flame.
Blaze.
Come.
Shar.
Prince.
Prince. Masha.
Drawn from the water.
Drawn from the water. Yeshaya.
Savior.
Savior. Who's the last one? Kazak.
Strong.
Strong. That's it. Strong. And the word Kazak, I believe, comes from the Hebrew word for chest. Right? So yeah, that's the 7 heads. So because the sister kind of mentioned it, next week we'll briefly go over our 7 generals, unless somebody knows them right now. And what they mean? Yep. I gotta know what they mean. What does Commanding General Yohana's name mean? Joyful. What does General Mahaiman's name mean? Trustworthy. What does General Hazayun's name mean? The weapon. What does General Mayaka Allah's name mean? Of course, it means Michael, but what does Michael mean? Hold up. Now I got to go into my archives here.
Salaki, sir, strong.
You could be right, sis, because I cannot remember. Let's find out. Mayaka Allah, really, his full name is Mayaka Allah Ka, which means who is like the Most High. The 11th, who is like the Most High. Okay? Of course, Hazayan is the weapon. What does General Shawamar's name mean? Good.
The watcher or the seer.
The keeper.
The keeper.
Or watcher is correct too. Watcher or keeper. Shawamar comes from the word what? Shamar, which means to watch or guard. Right? His full name is Anya Shawamar, which means what? I am watching or I am guarding. All right. Then we have Salakia. Who we got left? We got General Katham Gabar. You better not ever forget what this Adawan's name means, because to me, he still has the coolest name in Israel. Who knows what Katham Gabar? I'm going to give him a chance real quick, guys, before we head out. I'm going to give them a chance. What does Katham Gabar mean?
Salaki, sir. Smart, wise, or something.
You're not, I mean, not with this one. Go ahead, Yanazar.
Golden warrior.
Golden warrior. That is what General Katham Gabar's name means. Golden warrior. And you be sitting up there about to get your Hebrew name, and you thinking you about to get some fire name like Golden Warrior or Barzal Rakal, which means Iron Spirit. And you walk up there all proud and they say, from this day forth, you will be known as Thabawan, which means understanding. Which is no sweat. I love my name. You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ. But I'm just saying, some brothers got them hardcore names, you know what I'm saying? Right. Right. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is, you know what I mean? But it's no sweat because your name is gonna reflect who you are. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay. And last but absolutely not least, we got General Q. You know what I'm saying? Everybody call him General Q. His name is Quabal Amath. Who knows what Quabal Amath means? Everybody in here should know what Amath means. If there's any word you want to drive in your memory, Amath is one of them. Because we're all in it.
Salaki, sir.
All right. That's this.
Go ahead, sis.
Bless, sir.
Not quite. We're all, remember, sis, I said we're all in it. The word of moth.
In the truth?
Give him a hand.
Strong in his truth. Nope.
Not quite. But give him a hand for knowing that a moth is truth, right? Right, young man. So Quabal Amath. I'll give it to you. The word Quabal means to receive. It means receiver of truth. That's what Quabal Amath means. So whenever you see a brother's name is something Amath, something true. Right? So we got Officer 5000 Debar Amath. His name means what? We found out what Debar means. It means speaker of truth. You know what I'm saying? Got a brother up in Virginia, Yarash Amath. I don't know why. I can never remember what Yarash means. I think, snap. Hold up. I'm going to say this one. This is going to be the last thing before we go. remember asking him before. I don't know why I cannot remember. No sweat. I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna ask him. No sweat. But if there's no more questions, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna end it there. Everybody swap. Most high in Christ. We way over the time. You know what I'm saying? So next week we'll pick it back up, learn some new words, get some more you know what I'm saying, get back into we haven't done an alphabet review in a while. And I always love to don't ever think that you too advanced to just straight up go back and do ba ga da ha wa za ha. You're never too advanced to do that. It is a good exercise to continue to do that weekly. So next week we will do that, get some new words, get some new concepts. Okay, and with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to priest and officer of 500, Yanazar.
Security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, which means 10th in the Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of Purim, which is actually starts on Sunday, the 5th. You understand where we going? We're going to be here, right? Right. So every zone is going to have their own feast. Okay. So if you're in Fayetteville, that's where your feast is. If you're in Charlotte, same old, same old. Durham, which will probably include Goldsboro, right? I'm not sure, but we'll see. Okay. Now, remind Akim and Akwathium. Salaki, there's 2 days. That's the opening on Sunday and the closing on Monday, the 6th. Okay. Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants,